Good morning. Those of you that are meeting with us every Thursday that are on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. It's always great to see people that are up and around and want to get that daily hit. It's so great to start the morning when things are on a positive, when you meet people. And it's always said that three of your friends or five of your friends is basically your condition. It's your income, your attitude, your view of life. So you got to really pick your people that you associate with a lot very carefully, because it's just amazing. Sometimes you're out with the people on the weekend, and it's maybe not your regular crowd, and you start to act like them. you start, and it's I mean, if it's a positive thing, it's great, but sometimes one joke after another, and things get a little uncomfortable, and sometimes it is through that attitude that you things change. So when you're meeting some people every week on a regular basis, and whether you do what we call BAMs, the business activity meeting, we tend to think just like the people that are here. Everybody here has a great attitude. Either you've been in business for a lot of years and you know a lot of stuff, or like Eric, he's got so much knowledge, and he's got coaches all over. He's going to be doing our education, so you might want to stay for that. And it's just amazing how that can just change your day, rather than just getting up and see what the world is doing. You never want to do that, because then you live your life by default. You live your life through what other people are doing for you, rather than you contributing something that makes an impact on someone else's life. So, just talking about that education, take it away, Eric. What kind of
Good
words?
morning, everybody. All right. So today's education is education specifically. So one thing I realized is that when we take on clients, we know what we do. We know our industry. We know what our best practices are, but not necessarily the clients that we take in. Even if you've had a client that has been a previous client and now they've started a new process with you, or if you're starting a new client, or that client has done something in your industry in the past, and it can be any one of our industries that I'm seeing on the screen, make sure that you have your own checklist of how and what do you do for your client, and what do you do with them, and what is the follow-up going to be with them? What are the tasks that you particularly might take in your business to be able to provide that service to that person? So as an example, if Norm is doing a job for somebody, it'd be great, and I know he does this already, but it'd be great if he says, hey, listen, you know what? I know that you need this repaired. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to call the supplier. The supplier is in Kentucky. We're going to make sure that we get them on call, that they hold the product for us, and then we're going to get it in. What's going to happen then is they're going to give me a call. They'll let me know when the delivery is. And then what I'll do is I'll give you a call, let you know when the delivery is, let you know when I can bring it to your home, and then we'll discuss a time when we can do the actual job. Other than just saying, yeah, leave it with me, I'll get the part. And then you don't hear from the contractor again. You don't hear from the service person again. In my job, I'll make sure that I say, for example, you may have gone through this process before, but if you don't mind, I'm going to run through a few things. Let me know if you need me to skip them, but I'd like to go through a few things, because sometimes you've forgotten about them, or sometimes they just weren't explained in the same way that it is currently done today. And your client will inevitably say, oh, you know what, thanks for going through all that with me. And what it's done is, that whole quote, you're not paying me for the hour. You're paying me for the hour, the value I bring to your hour. So make sure that you show them what it is that you do in the backgrounds. Show them why they have chosen you. Show them why they are paying you your fee. Whether it's a premium or a discount, it does not matter, because once that person hears and is involved in the process, then they have created a better relationship with you. They understand it, and they don't feel like they're just another person paying an invoice and never hearing from you again. So all that to say is, create a checklist, share that checklist with your client, with your customer. Let them know what next steps are going to be before they come to you and say, well, what's happening next? Haven't heard from you in a week. What's happening? So that's my cue to you. Educate your clients just like we're educating ourselves today. So there you go. Enjoy the day.
Thank you very much for that reminder, Eric. It is so true. Sometimes we know what the solution would be to solve someone's problem, and we just say, "Leave it with me." And I have done that, and I've also done it where I totally forgot about it, and then I think I got to go back to this, and by then they've already got okay, I've already moved on, sort of thing. It's not bad if it's within a few days, but sometimes you'll realize this. Oh, what a week later, and I says, "Oh man." But yeah, that's a good point. I really appreciate you bringing that up. So if you have a solution for somebody, just say, "I have a solution. Would you like to be part of it?" And and get it in there. That's a great idea. Nice work, bud. So okay, let's move right into our education. Oh, actually, I want to just give you a couple of updates here before we do that. There's a couple of new stuff that's happening. Um, with our over the website thing going on, all right, we've got our hub. Again, if you have a new computer, things are new coming in, just go to pbex.ca or phoenixbusinessexchange.com. They're both the same. They go to this site. Member of the week is Josh Lem. He's our IT guy in our Bell's Corners group. Really great man. He's very educated as to how to be able to customize things, your website, so things work the way that they do. With our SMS and texting program, it was just a very simple thing, and it was so hard before that we did this, and he was able to modify it where I could put it in as a calendar and put it in like a week before or a month before, all of that. And then sometimes, I'll forget to send a text out to some people, but yeah, he should take a program and customize it for you, and he's done that for Phoenix. So definitely, there's his e-card and his quick video infomercial thing that had happened there. We have basically four groups: our Monday, Wednesday, and our Today group. If you have a visitor that you want to bring in, just get them to come to this. Press one of the red buttons, and they have the Zoom link already in it. All right. We also have our After Hours group, which we have once a month. Our next one is October the 1st. Anyone is available that can come to that is welcome to come in. That is there because the weekly members they can also get their goals checked in. It is a free thing for those people that can't network during the week, and then this provides a great option for the evening once a month. So if you can't come up with 1 hour once a month, then your business might be in a different category altogether. I don't know how many times I've done business with somebody, not with our group, but there was one recently I did, and it took them 6 weeks to send me an invoice. 6 weeks, and I says, okay, that I don't even know what the amount is. I'd like to pay it. So as soon as it came in, it took me another week or so. By that point, they were so sort of motivated to get money. He says, I sent you an invoice. I know I got that 3 days ago, so I'm going to be addressing that soon. But there was no real rush to send it out. So some people are so busy in their business that they don't have time to do the basic stuff. So that's one of the things about you want to be able to market your business with Phoenix so that we keep you on track. If you got your goals, we'll sort of tell you at the very beginning. This is very rudimentary for some of us, but some that are coming in, I find that the 2 years to 5 years, that's when they sort of get into that working every day on their business, and it becomes very, I don't know, I can't say monotonous, but things are repetitive, right? And they have to be done every month or every week or whatever the schedule is. So Phoenix will help you get on track with that. Special events, our East group, they come together networking every Tuesdays at 8 o'clock, and Bernie does a wonderful job heading that up. It's a global networking event. Bernie has people from Ireland, South America, all over the States. So it's a great way that if you have a business, coaching, or just advice, it would be good to come in on that one. So highly recommend that. My Free meditation classes every Friday at 1:30. Our next one is, of course, tomorrow at 1:30, and it's Eastern Standard Time. And if you do miss that, I do have recordings I could send you just to give you that hour, and it's always amazing what Spirit has to share for that. Penny Lee's dancing classes it's almost every day. So there's her schedule there on that particular button. And her Friends Friday, that is tomorrow. It's a potluck that she does every month, and it's just a way to get together with friends. There's no business in terms of, there's no infomercial set. It's more of a get together. Everybody sort of talks over food. How great is that? That's really talking my language. I'm going to try to get to that one tomorrow if I can. My son usually gets here to pick up our grandson at a certain time, so I don't want to miss that. But then that would be great to go to. The South End, East End, and the Belsh Corners all have in-person meetings, and all the links are there with the dates. All right, the next one for the East Group, we just had one yesterday, so the next one will be about a month away. In the South Group is on the 26th, and there's the link for that, and that goes right to the booking. So hopefully we'll see you on that one. And the Belsh Corners Group is at High Fives in Belsh Corners, and that's on the 30th. All right, it's a great way to again meet one of your members and sort of catch up on things. QR code is right there, and that's if you have one of our members that they're looking for. If you need somebody real quick to be able to find them on your phone, you just basically hit that button and the QR code and everything is on there. On your phone, you basically tap the QR code and that gets right into the profile of the e-card, okay? And everybody's here. So it's a great way to be able to market yourself in that way. But the best part is everybody has your profile too. So this is a great way to share. If you're at a trade show, or I did one at Costco the other day, a person in line in front of me, we got to talking and they needed a naturopath. So I was able to send our newest one, and Lawrence, for that. So it's a great way to share the QR with someone else, goes onto their phone and so on. So far, our updates are 127 this year, almost 128,000. We're a little bit low, actually. It's only because we know we've had a very quiet July and August because of vacations and so often, but usually we pick up right about this time. Our goal is usually around 225 to 250,000. So it's right in, hopefully right in line with that. We'll catch up. And we have 346 referrals. Out of 346, how many BAMs do you think we got, knowing that they run so close? Anybody want to guess? 341. Again, it always comes down to it that as we get more BAMs, there's more referrals. So that's another sort of a segue for our members, that if you want to improve business in some way, do a BAM with somebody. The energy on that is amazing, and you never know what you're going to find out on that, okay? The business, 127,000, of course, we mentioned, and e-cards are 6,336 connects, all right, in that. So that's how our e-cards are working. So they're running great. Just a quick sum up. We had mentioned that in this group, in the South group, we wanted to bring in more visitors, okay? So in the month of September, October, and November, we're gathering up as many gift certificates from our members as possible. I'm putting in a $150 gift certificate for a free reading or a tuning session. And Ann Lawrence is putting in $150 to get a free session there. And Sam has put in $100 for free mechanical, whether it's changing tires or whatever it is, by that time. So we can get together hopefully get it to almost $1,000 worth of stuff. The winner takes all of whoever brings in the most visitors. Now, this person that you're bringing in, the visitor, does not have to join. They just have to show up. It's that easy, okay? It's getting them to join is our job, all right? Getting them to show up might be yours. To really do this well, we have to have a full-time person that just works on Phoenix. That would be nice, but that is not reality. That's not reality. We have to have probably close to 150 to 200 members to be able to afford someone like that. So we have to sort of bite a little bit on it. And so if a few minutes here and there that you can help to try and bring somebody in will actually help you and other members, because members, they buy things, they suggest things. So any new member that comes in is potentially a customer for you. All right. So I'm going to be sending out. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago about the letters of the visitors and some other stuff. I still have that, so I apologize for not sending it. My business has just incredibly increased and so on, but I'm trying to get it all working so that the things still get done in time as much as possible. All right, so we'll work on that. Okay, so let's get right into our introductions and see. Now, this is September in your business. What changes in at this time? Is it seasonal? Is there some new information that you want to give, whatever is going on with appointments or quotes or whatever might be very relative for people like Eric or Norm. You might not be able to book anything even this year, but if that changes your business in some way, the seasons, let us know. Okay, so Norm, let's start with you.
Good morning. Yes, the holiday season is over, and over the years I know this happens. In September, people start calling me. Right, I can still do weather stripping stuff, where I can get material like relatively quick. Right, like we repaired a patio door yesterday. Now, a point that Eric brought up is communication, and I verbally said to this customer, because it's a small job, it's $350 for the service call plus parts, and I marked the parts up 50%. Well, he didn't hear that second part, right? He said, no, 350 was what you said, everything in. The parts cost me $100. So I learned a lesson even on small jobs. I said to Rick, I should have just sent him a text so to verify that I said plus parts, right? The bigger jobs we write down, we write a contract, we get a deposit. Small jobs, I don't get a deposit. But I should have clarified what we were doing. Now we got a lot of extra work from this customer, so I didn't argue very hard about it. And the big thing is, for windows and doors, we're not installing till the spring. You want windows and doors springtime. If you repair your windows and doors, I can repair your windows and doors before winter sets in, because I can get the glass, I can get fairly quickly, and doesn't take long to replace the glass. It does take long to replace the window, because you got to rip it out. The house is open for a while. The cold comes in, it affects your fingers. So what we're doing is getting the jobs for the fall that we can grab the material fairly quickly, and then we'll move into inside stuff, right? So we have that advantage of doing flooring or drywalling or whatever needs to be done inside. We can do that. That tagline or this little thing that Steve Birkenmeyer told me, honeydew list, we get it done, right? I've got that in my van. It's getting a lot of attention. It's moving stuff. So I went and got a new hoodie, ordered a new hoodie, and I wanted to put on the back, instead of "we fix your home," honeydew list, question mark, we get it done. People called me and they said, oh, we had a problem with our computer. What is it you wanted to put on the back? So I said, honeydew list, question mark, we get it done. I went to pick up the hoodie, and on the back it says, honeydew, miss, question mark, we get it done. No, that's got bad connotation. It's not supposed to be miss, honeydew miss. It's honeydew list. So it was funny. They're making me a new one, but I thought I might be in a bit of trouble if I put that on the back of my shirt. So the biggest thing is, if somebody needs something done, call me now so I can squeeze you in to do whatever needs to be done before the winter sets in. So Norm Boyer, boys, we fix your home on the honeydew list. We'll get it done.
Thanks a lot, Norm. Eric, over to you, sir.
Mute button. All right. So Eric Perron, I'm your real estate advisor with Engel and Volkers. So what are we doing right now? A lot of introductory conversations, a lot of introductory coffees. Basically, people right now are trying to see what are they going to be doing next. Should they be selling before the year is up? What would they be selling for? What is the market looking like? They're asking about interest rates. They're asking about mortgages. And so what we're seeing here is that the interest rate is going down. It's going to go down a little bit more. And what that's going to mean is that prices for homes are going to slightly go up. They've been relatively steady over the last little while. And but we're seeing activity. If you list at a market price, a very competitive price, you're getting an offer within, 1 week to 3 to 4 weeks. But the general market is basically almost 3.5 months out now of selling your home. So with that, if you have questions, if you'd like to get information and figure out what your next steps are, look me up, contact me, call, text, or email. Take care.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Awesome. And Q, over to you.
Tony, hello everyone. Here, I'm your go-to insurance lady of the group. And do you know that having prolonged critical illness will deplete your retirement savings? By having a critical illness insurance, you will receive a lump sum payout once diagnosed, which would help with treatments, daily expenses, business expenses, etc., without having to touch any of your saving. And even better, you can set it up in a way that if you are never diagnosed, you can receive all of the premium you pay into it back. Let me help you protect your saving. Q from World Financial Group, providing you with financial peace of mind when you need it most. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Q. Very clear. Susan Ebbs, over to you.
Good morning, one and all. I'm Susan Ebbs, and I am affiliated with a company called melaleuca.com, and we look after your cleaning needs. We don't do cleaning, but we do provide products that can help with your cleaning, and we have the benefit of having non-toxic cleaning products. This helps with your breathing and allergies. The products are concentrated, and so you end up saving money because a little goes a long way. And in today's environment, that's a great thing. Wanted to showcase one of our products. It's called SoluGuard. With the kids going back to school, they're walking germ factories. SoluGuard comes in a bottle like this. This will give you 6 spray bottles because our product, as I say, are concentrated. So you put a little bit of product in the bottom, the rest is water. And SoluGuard will get rid of 99.9% of germs. There was a thing on the news the other day about where you can find germs. Well, your cell phone is one of the worst places. Door handles. What about your computer? You need to be spraying like crazy because you have to stop those germs in their tracks. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to be lying in bed and not producing. So we help people to detoxify their homes and save themselves money in the long run. Susan Ebbs, Total Renewal. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. I'm not sure if that is good for skunks. I had somebody ask the other day to take a skunk out of a pet's fur when they get hit.
What I used was regular shampoo that we have because that helps.
Okay.
It's very soft on the skin. It's not going to irritate the skin. And then the best thing is tomato juice.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if SoluGuard did anything there.
No,
Okay.
I wouldn't use SoluGuard. It might be a little bit too strong for the animals.
Okay. Good point. Thank you. Sam, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Tony. Good morning, everyone. There's my contact information, Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. You can kind of know what I do. Dash cameras like this one here, very similar to the one I installed in Eric's and in Q's vehicle. I still do the dash cameras. In fact, I'm going to be working on Penny Lee's daughters. For some reason, it stopped working. You can find out later today why. What's going on there. Besides that, if you missed the meeting on Wednesday, I talked about tires. I install tires, winter tires and summer tires on people's vehicles, and I talked about a lot of the problems I've seen over the years when it comes to tires. But you missed that, so I'm not going to go long about it. But if you store your tires in some other place and you don't know if your tires are ready for winter, I would suggest you find out. Because you don't want to be surprised at come November that you need a new set of snow tires and you're standing in line and you can't get good tires. So if you haven't found out whether your tires are any good, I suggest you do find out. And when you do find out, you should be looking for this symbol on the tires you're buying, because those are the symbols in North America for snow tires. Make sure that's on the tire, that they don't sell you something other than that, because that's the snow tire symbol that we all use. Besides that, let's see, BAMS wise, our friend Dave Beliveau provided me some smoked salmon that didn't last more than, I think, a couple days here. So that was very good. Thank you, Dave. And I want to thank Marlon, if he's listening, from the South Group. He referred me to one of his staff who wanted a dash camera, and I installed that in her vehicle just the other day. That's it for me. Sam Sturz, ConnectedCars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle, and lots more.
Okay, thank you for the reminder, Sam. It was my bad on that one. Eric, how did you do with referrals or BAMs? Just so we can mark it down.
Nothing this week.
Okay. And Q? Any BAMs or referrals that you had a chance to reach out? Yes, no? No? Okay. Norm? Okay, I'll talk to Norm after, just so we can keep track of that.
I had one with Terry Black.
Oh, Terry Black? Okay. Perfect. And over to Bernie.
Well, folks, good morning. Obviously, I don't have Solid Guard at home because I have a cold. I think it was courtesy of my wife, but hey, who's counting that? I'll just have to, scrub her down a bit more. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm going to stop there before I put my foot all the way down the throat. Creative Insight. What we do is we're a business concierge. We connect other businesses that try to get you a good fit. We also have something called a Knack for Business podcast. We're on to season 3 recordings. We have over 200 podcasts in the can. And yeah, it's going pretty well. East Trade Winds, if you're interested, come on into that space. It's free to attend. It's a good way to cross-connect with some folks. And if you want to see some past videos of people doing presentations, the YouTube link is right there. And it's a good variety. And BAMs, or referrals, I should say. Sorry. I did a referral to Eric Senego.
Perfect. Thank you, Bernie, very much. That's awesome. And just go. All right. And so I'll present here because just to get that presentation in. So far in BAMs, I've got Dave did a BAM with him. Also placed an order, or will be placing an order very soon. Susan McGarry had some business with her and sent some business to Shane, our chiropractor in the Bell's Corners group. Okay, so that was great. So, hi, Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. So I'll do on a presentation that I did with Bernie, I think it was earlier this week. And it's about how the body communicates with you when we get sick, when we don't feel very well. So I had a nice presentation set up for you. So just to give you an idea and the appreciation of what your body can do for you and how it speaks. There's a certain language that the body is under. So we'll just go through that just to give you an idea. And let's see, let's just get rid of this. All right. Okay, so the language of the body, what does it do? Well, the body does speak. We just have to find the different ways of how to be able to understand it. It's continuously adapting and adjusting to the outside world, operating by the brain. The brain operates the body in so many ways. The body reflects the contents of the mind with its related emotion. So emotion is very high here regarding the body. The key parameter in the maintenance of a healthy body, its effect on the immune system, and it controls by the brain, and the thoughts and the emotions surrounding it. So whatever is going on with your conscious is continuously affecting the body in some way. And the conscious also flares into the unconscious, where if it's that repetitive, if you keep saying to yourself, in other words, that oh, I'm not powerful, I'm always sick, I'm always this, you introduce yourself as I am the person that had the concussion 10 years ago. If that's your identity, then it becomes a very much an unconscious thing, and the body reacts to that as well. Your body mirrors the thoughts and your perception of yourself. The key to learning the language of the body is to speak to you in its own way. So how do we do that? So here's a couple of examples. The body tells us that some illnesses, ailments, and diseases can be karmic paybacks. These are something from other lives that you have lived. So sometimes it doesn't make any sense why you would be sick at a certain day, at a certain time, and it's always happening at a certain way. This is why just looking at the physical body, in many ways, when we go to our GP, they look at the physical body, your blood and your other test results, is great looking at that physical part. But it's not the complete story of really what's causing the body to speak of illness and why it's showing up. Birthmarks, for instance, is a long-term sores on the body, or long-term sores on the body, can indicate a past life memory. Wounds in battle, lost love, broken heart. This is how things are scarred. It scars the soul in some ways, and then it brings it over to another life when you come in to a physical perspective again. So your soul kind of carries all of that, going from one life to the next. So it has to be, and what usually happens is that if you cut yourself, let's say, and you're very angry, and you just can't say, oh, how can I be so stupid that I cut myself, cutting a tomato or something. And so what the body sees is that disruption and this emotion of anger that is now infiltrated into the cut that's trying to heal. What will usually end up is, depending on the intensity of the anger, it will start scarring to show the discord of the emotion at the point of injury. Okay, does that make sense? In other words, if you're calm about it, I say, oh, wow, I cut myself. Oh, okay, no problem. You just bandage it, do its thing. By the time that heals, there will be almost invisible, because there's been no emotion that's been discord at the time. So once you know that what's causing the scarring in your past life, in this case, is something to do with karmic resolution, or to clear your past. Sometimes we are just angry for some reason and we don't know why. But when we take a longer look at it, we'll start looking at so various people like myself that can do past life regression and can do it, will tell us another story about how things are affecting things. The body is a map of things that you have done, the challenges that you go through in many lives that you go through, and how you're reading it. Like a person has a lot of scars, they've gone through stuff, and if they're still a very kind person, then it's sort of a roadmap of their strength rather than their weaknesses. The body tells us in other ways that illnesses happen is when a life's person's goals are not being met. Like maybe you're not making the money you want to make, or we're in the neighborhood you want to be in. Maybe that is a thing for you. And if it's such a chronic thought, then what the body will have various ways that it communicates that it doesn't agree with you for some way. When the individual becomes so frustrated, the body responds to that unnatural flow to manifest its interpretation of the disorder. Okay? So our overall long-term thoughts and perceptions about ourselves can either make us well or make us sick. So yes, the thought is that you can think yourself into sickness all the time. If you are constantly in a state of fear, then you will get an illness no matter Who says that you are healthy, or you won't believe it? It reminds me of a story that I heard from this lady, a lady that she go into a doctor's, and she says, "Doctors, I know I have a problem. I feel it. I just know something's wrong. I think I have cancer." So the lady doctor says, "Okay, well, we go do all the tests that we need to." And anyway, all the tests are done, blood and so on. And the tests come back negative. He says, "No, you don't have this illness." And so a few years go by, and she goes to her doctor again and says the same thing. "I still feel that something's wrong." They do another test, more tests, and it comes back negative. Everything's fine. And she does this for roughly 20 years. Then once the tests come back and it's positive, she does have cancer. And then her response to the doctor was, "See, I told you." So in other words, if you are constantly looking for signs of illness, even though you feel it, the body knows that you are looking. It also realizes that you can't find anything. You can't find this illness that you're looking at. So it will then manifest a desired illness just so you are not looking anymore. And that's the way the body works. It all works on manifestation. So here's a couple of examples. The body stores heavy emotions to protect you in short-term situations. That's a fact. The body is not equipped to store these energies for long periods of time, like anger, guilt, feeling of not enough. It can do it for a short time. Like if you don't make the basketball team. I says, "Oh, wow, I can't believe I tripped over that ball, and that's why I didn't get picked." And then, a few days go by and you sort of move on. Those are fine. Those are not life-altering events or anything. But something over a long period of time, like you're not enough for, 10, 15, 20 years plus, it will start to show very much. But what happens is, depending on the emotion, a certain body organ takes on that job to try to absorb it or try to change it in some way. Okay? So there's an actual organ for every emotion that happens. The longer the emotion is left in the organ, the weaker it gets. For instance, anger weakens the liver. Anger is usually a sign that something isn't right, and we need to find what it is. And this is why a lot of people do drink. So yes, the alcohol is not good for your liver. But on top of that, when you have anger underneath, because let's say you're not making the money you want, let's say you're not happy providing with your family the way you want, and you're angry about it. "Oh, I should have had more opportunities." And you add to it, it actually hits the liver and it makes it weaker. Grief is held in the lungs and the heart, okay? When somebody passes away, that's where you feel it, right there. You have a hard time breathing. Over a short period of time, not life-altering. So, of course, if your pet passes away or a loved one does, of course you're going to be in grief or in mourning or whatever. But after 20 years, if you're still reacting the same way as it happened a week ago, then that's an issue because you're holding on to that grief for a long period of time, and you'll have all kinds of things to do what we call the heart chakra. So that's your lungs, that's your heart itself, the blood flow, everything. You'll have all kinds of things with emphysema, you'll have bronchitis. That's how it will start. And if you keep hanging on to that grief, then it will start getting worse and worse. Worry weakens the stomach. When people say that, "Oh, I'm worried to my stomach," it's an actual saying. Like it's just so much worry that the furnace will blow up, or that we're not going to be successful in our business, or we're worrying that somebody will leave us because they might not love us. All that worry, it really does affect the stomach. And over a long period of time, that creates ulcers, that creates a thinner lining in your stomach. You won't be able to have the hot foods that you normally did when you were younger. It's not because you get older, because I know a person that's still 80 years old and still has number 7 hot sauce. And for those of you that don't know what that is, number 10 is like, that's what they use for bear hunting. Throw that in a bear's eyes and it will blind itself. It's so hot. The number 1 is like your Tabasco sauces and stuff like that. So a number 7 is a pretty, very strong thing. But some people eat that even at an advanced age. So, but you look at them and they don't worry about anything. They just take life the way it comes, and they're very easygoing. Just like Bernie, he's a very easygoing guy, and he's like that. So his health will be much better regarding that digestive part of it. The stresses, weakness, of course, the heart and the brain. Now, these aren't stresses that you go through that, oh, I hope I get my license for my car, or I hope these are short-term stresses. Some stresses are very healthy. Like if somebody says to you that you're never going to amount to anything, you're going to be a loser. And then you say, oh yeah, watch me. And then you go through the process of proving over a long period of time. Proving isn't the best, but a short time it is. So you're proving to somebody that you can do something. So you'll go through some stresses on that. That's actually good because it's a fighting mechanism. But stress that we're talking about is you're just stressed about life in general. The whole world you feel, some people feel, owes them a living. I don't know, people that you'll have this kind of emotion when no matter what happens, they feel that they have been inconvenienced. I have seen people wait, like what Sam would talk about, waiting in line for tires. I saw one the other day where people are waiting in line to order tires, and there's literally 20 people, in a line waiting to get served. And the person in the front just is going on and on about about something that has nothing to do with ordering. They just want to, create sort of a havoc, and they're just going through that, and they think that everyone should cater to them. Those kinds of stresses, not good for the heart, not good for the brain, because it does affect it. It has that entitlement mentality. And then when you have that, then everybody owes you a living, and it's a never-ending quest of heartache and disappointment. Fear is a big one, and that hits the kidneys. Anything fearful. If you're fearing of heights, that's one thing. If you're not always thinking about it, not a big deal. But if you're fearing, let's say, spiders, and any bug that you see on the floor or outside, and you're just freaking out or anything, that kind of fear, because it's not just the bug that is the fearful thing, because there are people that can pick up a bug or pick up a snake or something and throw it, and not a big deal. So it's not just the animal that's making that fear, it's the fear itself that is fearful. And that affects kidneys. So what does it do? Well, it creates more kidney stones. It will create more kidney issues. You won't be able to filter. Kidneys are a filtering system for your body. A lot of the liquids going through will filter that so that the impurities stay in there. And the job of the kidneys is to make it so that most of the waste goes out and keep the good stuff. But the idea then is that it'll affect that function. It won't be as efficient when you're always in fear, always fearful that you're going to lose, always fearful that you could have somebody love you. I saw with one of the clients I've had, and as soon as they met a really nice person that they could maybe date, their next fear is that, oh, they're going to leave me because everyone leaves me that loves me. He says, why would that come up? So the fear is just something that you think is going to happen. So when we take this to another level, okay, we know the body stores energy and is always trying to prove something. And this is something that we see a lot of over a long period of time. You're always trying to prove to other people that you're a good person, that you're a person that is meaningful, or you have a good business, and you're always trying to show that you have a successful business. That over a long period of time is not healthy, because the body doesn't like comparing itself to anyone else. It knows that you're an individual itself, and you'll have your own successes and failures, or whatever you want to call it, but it's all about not proving it over a long period of time. Judging your body when it knows it's beautiful. We see this a lot with women. I'm not just picking on women because guys have this same thing, but I see it more with women. And they look at their body, and they could be amazingly looking, and they will still feel that they're fat, or they still feel that they're unhealthy, or they don't like their body in some way. They want to make it even better. Anger is another one that the body doesn't really like over a long period of time. In one of the sayings, it says, anger is the punishment that you give yourself for another person's conduct. If someone else does something dumb, like cut you off in traffic, your anger is your punishment to yourself, because maybe that person is going to the hospital. Maybe they have a bleeding person in the back seat. So how would you drive if your loved one is in the back seat and you got to get to the hospital in half the time it takes to get there? There's a chance you might run a red light. There's a chance you'll be cutting people off. Here's a perfectly good person, but now your stresses and what you have to do has changed. So you're going to be doing things a little different. So when people judge that, they don't get the whole story, right? So worrying, if we look at that over a long period, is trying to manifest something that you don't want. I don't want my furnace to blow up. I don't want my tire on my car to go flat or to blow up because I didn't buy new tires and you could see the steel belts coming out at one point. You know, always worrying about something, you know, that you're actually manifest something that you're not wanting. Fear is much the same, where fear is an expectation that you don't want something, but you feel that you deserve it. Like, I really feel fearful of spiders. And what happens? Those are the people that see spiders the most often. They see it all the time. So the 10 steps to Zen, how to get to this really calm place, is first of all, stop comparing yourself to other people. You are unique, you are beautiful, you are different, you are powerful, all on your own. And you don't need other people's approval to tell you so or to show that somebody can do more or they have more. Okay, so stop the comparing. Stop the competing. You don't have to compete with the Joneses down the street, or if somebody sold more houses than you did. It's just that it all goes in terms of how it all happens by the end of the year. By the beginning of the year, everybody is pretty much the same. There are some realtors that don't work as hard as Eric, and at the end of the year is nowhere near Eric. Not that, again, I'm comparing, but again, just that when people are trying to compete, then it's not the greatest, because then you always think that you're less than. Competing means that you need to do something to make yourself better, and you could be perfect the way you are. Let go of all the judgments if you see something. Again, if somebody cuts you off, I say, boy, if he's going through something, I hope everything works out okay by the end of the day. Let go of anger. The anger is something that is really a subconscious over a long period of time. Some people could drop a cup on the ground, no big deal. Other people could spill a little water or milk or something on them, and they'll freak out, not realizing that they're at a saturation point. It's not what happened that's making them angry. It's just that there's so many things in their life that they're irritable about. They're at a saturation point. And it's that, the straw that broke the camel's back. That's where the anger's coming from. It's not somebody that said, are you okay, that makes you angry. It's the fact that maybe 500 people asked you that question, and you're not asking yourself, this is about the fifth or sixth person that is asking me if I'm okay. So what am I projecting? In other words, we look inside rather than always looking outside. Let go of regrets. Something happens, you don't like, you regret it. It's okay. Somebody you once said that if you could go back in your life, when they say something about regret, I regretted something that happened when I was in my younger days. The saying goes that if you go back to your younger days and you were able to correct all the things that went wrong in your life, you would not exist. So what does that mean? When all those things, those obstacles, those things that were in our way, they made us as strong as you needed to be today. So this is why your existence changes dramatically if you never make a mistake, if you don't regret. The regret is something that you should have or could have done. And that's an energy that's sort of, we call it a nothing energy, but it is a big deal when it comes to regret. I should have done this. I was so dumb not saying yes to that wonderful person, that I wasn't in a good place. I wasn't maybe ready for this person at the time. And I just left that person and I didn't look after them or whatever, because depending on this energy that you're in, then it changes things. So, but the regret is something that we look back thinking that it could have been different, and it isn't. It had to happen exactly the way it did for you to be who you are today. And it's a gift. The blame is a big one. Do not ever blame anyone for anything. It was my parents' fault for them not being rich, which is why I'm not rich. It's my parents' fault for not hugging me more than, or showing me more affection than it is. It's my neighbor's fault for doing something. And if we keep blaming the government and the medical system and everything else around us, it all comes down to you had to make the decision to follow that. In the early years, it's understandable because, you're just a young person at the time and you don't want to create any waves. So you go along with it. But then you come to a point where you start maturing. You get into your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. And if you're still blaming people that have long passed away for various things, you have to start looking at yourself. What am I blaming anybody for? It's I now have the power to change it, and you absolutely do. So blaming is a real evidence in many cases that shows you that you're not powerful, and that even though my parents were not rich, I can be rich. It doesn't mean that I would have gotten an inheritance, because if I did, well, that'd be nice. But if I don't, it's okay. I'm still going to be successful. If you are very determined that way, and there are many, many examples of even Hollywood stars that were very, very well to do that never gave any of their inheritance to their kids because they figured this is money that I made. So I'm going to spend it. You make your own money. And this way they won't be entitled. They know how hard that they have to work for that dollar. They know how, so there's going to be a higher appreciation for what they do if it's given to them rather than a crowd of kids waiting for grandpa or grandma to die so they can get some of it so they can go clubbing again. So the idea is to be able to get this for yourself. Make it so that you don't have to blame anybody. It's all up to you. Guilt is another one. Guilt goes along with regrets in some way. When we regret something, we feel guilty, right? And that's an energy again that we should have done something. Had this one example where this woman was in an abusive relationship and married the guy and was in there for 25 years, 24, 25 years in that marriage, and then finally left. And then I said, "Oh, well, good for you that you finally left after 25 years." And she says, yeah, I had to, but now I feel guilty because I waited so long. So it's like, is there ever going to be a time in your life where you're going to be peaceful? Ask yourself that. Is there ever going to be a time in your life where you could look forward to see in this age or in this time, it's not about age, it's about a point in your life that you're going to be peaceful? If you always have this guilt, then you're holding on to old energy that was supposed to go a long time ago, and you're just holding on to it. It's much like holding on to a cactus. It's prickly and it's painful, but it's something you feel you need to do. So that's something you need to let go. It's not about the regret or the guilt or the blame. It's all about finding out who you are today and who you want to be tomorrow. Fear is another one, as we talked about. But one of the biggest things is have a great belly laugh. Have somebody in your life, a good friend or someone that is in your family that you're always laughing, a huge belly laugh. And a lot of times when I laugh so hard, because I laugh very easily, and I start crying or my belly starts to hurt. And it's like, thank you, I needed that because I just gained about a week on my life. And if we say that to ourselves, the body says, yeah, he understands, he gets it. That's exactly what happens. A good belly laugh is a great way to laugh at the situation. Sometimes when situations get so bad, we laugh at it and it makes it better. I remember a couple of instances where I had one thing going wrong after the next, and it was like way before 10 o'clock, and 15 things have gone wrong. Car not starting, furnace is cold. There's no hot water. We were in this other house that we always had problems with the hot water heater, and as 15 things go wrong, and at 10 o'clock, I just start laughing. And I can't believe what's next. Okay, don't say that. So we laugh at our problems, laugh at the things that are going on, and that changes the energy dramatically. Because so many times people say, when I start my day, it was really bad, and it ended bad because you just kept like surfing, and the whole day ended up being bad. But when you laugh, it sort of disables that, and you can actually end it with a great day. All right. So I know it was right on time here, 9 o'clock. So I hope this was something. There's a little bit more to this, but the whole idea is be mindful of your thoughts. Watch what you're looking at. Watch what you're thinking, and know that your body is listening to everything you're saying about yourself. It knows that you're powerful, you're beautiful, you're unlimited, you're abundant, and anything you say to the contrary, your body will have certain signs of showing it doesn't agree. Okay. Hope that was something helpful. All right. Yeah, Bernie, do you have a quote for the end of the meeting?
Yes, sir. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. That's from
Yeah, I like
Vidal Sassoon.
I like that one. Okay. And for those of you who are on Facebook Live, have yourself a great day. We'll see you next week, and be well and think